Welcome back, guys. This is another episode where the Secretary of the Treasury talks to Tucker Carlson. And just listen closely to what he says, because it will be shocking to most about the tariffs.
Here's the important part. Why Trump and his team are so confident. Because if these countries don't do that, if they don't remove their trade barriers, then that's fine as well. The United States is the largest importer in the world by far, not even a close competition. We import around $3.2 trillion of goods annually. You know what that is by day? That's $9.2 billion with a B of goods daily. $9.2 billion a day, which means the 10% base tariff that went into effect this morning equates to around $920 million a day going into the TGA, the Treasury General.
Just so you guys know, just give shout out to RJ Talks. This is RJ Talks on YouTube. He did all the research. I'm just taking a couple clips out of his
general account, America's bank
He's a
account.
good channel.
That's starting
you guys want to go
this
check him
morning.
out.
You don't hear corporate media talking about that. I haven't heard anyone mention that. It's all just fear-mongering about how dumb of an idea this is. That's almost $1 billion a day Trump's now generating in new revenues for this country. And that's before any of the reciprocal tariffs are even rolled out.
Yeah, they don't even talk about it.
Yesterday, Tucker Carlson interviewed Scott Bessent, Trump's Treasury Secretary. Really smart guy. He's the mastermind behind a lot of this economic policy. Trump brings the vision, what he wants to accomplish, and this guy, along with Trump's other economic advisors, formulate the policy. Well, in this interview, Bessent lays out the goal with all of this. Not just returning America's manufacturing base, but to the finance class in this country, he says, to all the people who've seen their net worths explode due to all this government stimulus, that you've all done very well and you're going to be just fine. But the 99% who were left behind, all of them, everyone else in this country, it's your turn now. Watch.
It's your turn.
Here's what a whole home water filtration system costs, including installation. Tap below to check pricing. Affordable water.
Sorry, guys.
I'm not happy
right here. Listen
with what's going on in the market today, but the distribution of equities across households, the top 10% of Americans own 88% of equities, 88% of the stock market. The next 40% owns 12% of the stock market. The bottom 50 has debt. They have credit card bills. They rent their homes. They have auto loans, and we've got to give them some relief. That I was struck by the statistic from last year.
That's the message right there. Just as a bystander, I'm like, wow, okay.
All right. Or
I was like, that's it. And then Tucker Carlson come out and said that.
That's
awesome.
I like the examples, and I was really struck by two different statistics last year. Summer of 2024, Americans took more European vacations than they had in history. Summer of 2024, more Americans were using food banks than they ever have in history. I went into two food banks near my hometown to ask, what's the story? And they said, it really takes, for a lot of people, it's a loss of dignity to walk in a food bank. Of course. But they were seeing a new phenomenon, that it wasn't their traditional clientele. It wasn't people who'd lost their homes. It wasn't people out on the street. These were working families who could no longer, $100 at the grocery store, that basket of groceries every week. They were missing 5, 6, 7 things, and they were coming to the food bank to top up. So, that's not a great America. Record European vacation, record food banks. And, no reason we can't keep the record European vacations going, but we got to take care of these other people. And you know what? That they don't want handouts. The Democrats had this strategy called compensate the loser. So first of all, the name of that strategy, I don't think the bottom 50% of Americans are losers. I think the system hasn't worked for them. I think that they are winners. It's just a bad system. So we are going to fix the system. And look, they want good jobs. They want their kids to do better than they do. They want to own a home. They want to pay down their debt. This isn't hard. And, I think that we can do this in the next 4 years. Would it have been really fun for me to come in and just keep issuing a lot of debt? And, it's almost like a bodybuilder is taking steroids. Outside looks great. You're muscular. Inside, you're killing your vital organs. Yeah. That's what was going on here. But it would have been easy to keep pumping up the economy, borrowing a lot of money.
They could have done that.
Creating a lot of government jobs. There was no controversy when we're doing all that. But you were going to end up in a calamity. If you go back and look, you look at the financial crisis in 07, 08, economy looked great right up until then. You go back and you look at the end of the dot-com bubble and then the whole credit problem, the fraud at WorldCom, Enron, some other companies, economy looked great until it didn't. And I think one of the things that we won't get credit for, but that this administration will have done, is avoiding a financial calamity.
What we're seeing here is a chance for everyone who's been left behind the chance to finally catch up. That's what this is. The greatest wealth transfer in American history happening now. We saw something similar during the pandemic, but go to the wealthiest amongst us, move from Main Street to Wall Street. This time happening in reverse. Already $6 trillion sucked out of the accounts, the bank accounts of the finance class last week, back to Main Street. That's what we're seeing. So all the people who've been left behind over the last 40 years, even over the last 4 years, who didn't get to participate, who couldn't participate in the inflation bubble, it's their time. In another story,
that's exactly it, guys. It's exactly it. Go check out RJ Talks. RJ Talks on YouTube. And he has an amazing YouTube channel and a YouTube following. And just want to make a short one today. And just want to let you guys know, to all my haters out there, I'm going to keep going. I'm glad that you guys out there don't like me, don't like the way I talk, don't like my views. But hey, I'm trying to have some kind of conversation with you guys, one or the other. So I appreciate you guys speaking your minds, because I like to talk. That's what dialogue is, what it's about. So everyone that comments down below, I will comment. As around, I've commented on every single post. Everyone, even though my haters. So please keep it coming, guys. And hey, I enjoy this. I ain't the greatest of speakers, but I'm here my time on Saturday night on the 5th, doing what I do. So, and to all you right-leaning Trump supporters, just hang in there. The left are laughing now. They think that tariffs are going to tear us all down. Nah, we'll be fine. You got to remember, Trump knows what he's doing. And the left think that the country's going down, but what's really happening is we're seeing who the real friend and foe is in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. Well, the Democrats are all pieces of shit. So there's about 5 Republicans that are garbage, and those 5 need to be voted out. And all the Democrat Party need to go. So hang in there, guys. There is a bright side on the other side. And if you didn't get anything out of here, check back at the start of this and watch it over, because it is explosive. Hey, I love you, my haters and my supporters. So thank you and have a great one. See you next episode.